Guys, we are on the 4th of April, and this is the Crypto Cowboy, and welcome to another edition of Bitcoin Technical Update for YouTube. Oh boy, Bitcoin is, not giving us much. I gotta tell you, I've been looking a little bit of a longer time frame charts on here, and I do love my Bitcoins, but it's pretty much going nowhere. So, other than pretty much holding or trading some of the shorter time frames, there is no real direction into this market right now. And if you can kind of see clearly from December 2017, when we have reached this $20,000 high, Bitcoin has gone pretty much nowhere. We did have nice swings, right? Although this was an extremely choppy move to the downside, with the exception of possibly some of the sharper drops that happened towards the end of the move. We did have a very nice impulsive move here during 2019 that kind of finished, and then now we're back at playing games. So, I don't have a high degree of confidence in any direction just yet. I'm going to be straightforward with you. I do have a few counts, and I'm going to continue to follow them and just be serious about them. Try to take advantage of some of the internal moves up here and try to give, the members into the pro room, intermediate trades that we can take and make money while Bitcoin decides what he wants to do in the future. I must tell you that if this is a fourth wave triangle, then the prospects for Bitcoin are pretty bleak. Yeah, we will get a move up higher in here, and a lot of people will get super bullish, but then we will get a crash, because fourth wave triangles are, or for that matter, any triangle, precedes the final move in a sequence, which means that if we're breaking out of here, that would be something terminal, and then we're going to crash lower. So in terms for the long-term survival of Bitcoin and for something more exciting into the price, it wouldn't be necessarily my preferred scenario, but it does seem something that we are building. And I'm going to take you and show you this count basically into our move here, into the yellow, into my motive wave platform. And as you can see here, if this is the top of the wave 3 up into the 20,000, then we're doing a wave A, a wave B, a wave C, and then we're some kind of a D wave that is happening right now, followed by this wave E, complete 4, up in 5, and then down to the crash. And you can take a look at some of these internals. They're not the prettiest, but if we're doing some kind of a combination in here, and this is a W, either we're going to do a triangle in a wave X, and maybe that's why Bitcoin is acting the way it is. Either way, short term, we do have to get a pullback in here to get some kind of a wave that's coming down before we go back up high. Remember, triangle legs are supposed to be in 3 waves. Some of them are complex WXYs, but it doesn't matter. They have to be 3 legs. So if we go in a W, you go in an X, and then we got to do a Y for a D, then in an E, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the interpretations that I hate, but what you're going to do, if this is what's going on, this is the markets that we're given. We got to be able to trade some of these moves on here. And even if I go to a smaller time frame, let's say I go to a 6-hour, if I go in this and say, okay, this is an ABC, I got to place some kind of a W up here. Can you really count this as a C lag? It's getting tougher in here. You do a 1, 2, 3, maybe some kind of a 4 and a 5. Okay, but I'm not super excited about it. Maybe my interpretation is wrong, and then this is an ABC for, it's an ABC for a W. We're doing an X, and then we're still doing a Y, which means the wave W has to go higher before we correct lower. Either way, it's a little bit messy in this count, and I'm, just kind of keeping it alive here. But there is not much I can say about it, except that if this is what we're getting, is going to be pretty painful here for the next few months. On to the bearish count, which is the one that I let's say I don't prefer near term, but I prefer it longer term, because what happens here is, if we're going to be getting a deeper pullback into the price of Bitcoin, that means that the rally will be so much greater and so much better for everybody. So do we take a little bit short-term pain for a longer-term gain? It depends on who you ask, right? So, maybe a lot of people are not going to be happy if Bitcoin sells off into 2000. To me, it would be a perfect opportunity to load up a lot on here and then enjoy the real rally in Bitcoin, which is going to be a third wave up that's going to take us over $100,000 in Bitcoin. I tell you for sure, I prefer this one rather more than I prefer the triangle move. So, the way this would happen would be, this is a wave 1 down. We have pulled into a wave 2, and now we need to drop lower sharply into this third wave. And how do I get rid of this? Maybe I can move it out of my screen or somewhere to down here. Okay, I hope I'm still recording and you guys are able to see my screens. Okay, so yeah, this is a wave 2 pullback here, and as you can see into this count, we have pulled into the 7-8 into the 618 at 72.27. We can go even as high as 8,500 as a second wave, and then roll over in a very sharp drop as part of this third wave move, then do a 4 and a 5, and then complete the sequence down. And I tell you, if this happens, you know, there's not going to be a lot of people left over to buy Bitcoin, because everybody will be sort of desperate and just kind of, you know, throw their hands up in the air and say, I'm done with crypto. And this is when you want to step in and buy as much as you can. So let's see, if I go on the daily chart here and I look at this, the move is choppy and kind of overlapping, so I don't have a clear impulse to the upside, so it favors this count. Okay, it does favor it, but the market is still not giving me enough yet to be able to open a full short position. We have tried and we were successful in trading some of these moves. I remember we've traded this B leg down into the room, and then you know, there was a nice opportunity for long here into this wave B. We've traded this as well up to the top side. Some of the members got in. We have kind of identified, after this rejection into the wave 1, we identified a wave 2, and we sold that wave 2 into the smaller time frames. I can go there and kind of show you some of this stuff. But, you know, for right now, the market is not selling off as it should. And this is, to me, at least near term here, is concerning. Because if this is still a corrective move, then means we need to break up higher still before, and maybe even take the 618 and go to a 786 before we can reach a high into this wave 2. Because remember, on this interpretation, if this wave 2 was reached, then we need to sell lower and have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1, 2, and then continue to move lower. But the market is not acting like that yet, which is concerning, necessarily for a short position, but also into the longer kind of structure, because we're going to have to break up higher here and create a second wave top, supposedly into the 786, which would be the next level. Okay, so how do I do this? Do I have to go now to the pink count, which is the bullish count? And on this one, I'm looking at this as being a wave 4 that's complete up here, and now this is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2 through an ABC, and now we're starting to build this positioning as part of this bullish interpretation. So I go in a wave 1 up, and I still need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. Now I must tell you, you know, it's hard for me to be super bullish until I pass this 10,500 level. Only then and only then I'm gonna start favoring this count a little bit more. Until then, I'm still cautious about it. And if I go, let's say, to a 6-hour chart, you can see my interpretation here is a leading diagonal in a wave 1, ABC in 2, although very short. If the wave 2 is very short following a leading diagonal, that means that the wave 3 has to be extremely aggressive to the top side, and it's not happening just yet. The way that would happen would be you need a couple of series of 1-2s and 1-2s, and they're not super bullish. The market tried but failed. So if this was a 1-2 and then this is another 1-2 up here, I want to make sure that I'm not having any degree violation. Then means that we need to explode up higher. If this is a 1, 2, 3 triangle in 4 and 5, that would complete a wave 1. Then we do another 2, so you would have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you explode higher. So anyway, in this interpretation, we need to stay above the 66.16 level for this to be a wave 4. If this is going to be another wave 2 and we do a small break lower and then we reverse, it would be a pretty disproportionate wave 2, and I think I'm breaking the rules there. So, you know, there's not a lot of room here. We got to start moving up higher, either start to break aggressively, either break as a wave 5 for 1 and then pull back. So I hope I'm pretty clear. The markets are tricky here, and you have to be, you know, you have to be very careful in how you read the price action and what positioning you take. Your stops have to be pretty tight, and you would need to only take trades that are that give you a really, really good edge. So for example, you wanted to sell, if this was an impulsive move and you get an ABC, you want to look for this type of a move to come lower. Okay, now this was the move did not extend, the move is another corrective move, you get another 3 leg, you can sell, and come lower, but you can only go for the water so many times with the bucket before you spill it all over. So you gotta be careful, because at some point, if this breaks up higher, none of this works, and then you find yourself in a pickle. So anyway, let's see what the resolution is. If this is a triangle, I'm looking for a break up higher. If this is just another 1 2 and now we're building a series of 1 and 2s, then we're looking for a big explosion. But until then, I'm still kind of I'm picking my battles, if for a lack of a better term on here. But we're trying to take advantage as much as we can. Another, pretty good indication we've had here as part of the second wave, some guys were able to take longs in here. I'll take you to the room so you guys can see some of this stuff. And I think I have it here. Let me just make sure we're on the right. There you go. We opened shorts at 72.60 on here. And there was an alert that I've sent here in April 3rd, so that was yesterday. And, we were waiting kind of for this move to complete as a second wave. It sure did. We just made a slight new high up here, and then the market dropped. And I'll show you lower. I've made comments on here regarding the trade. I was lowering the stops here with the $100 minimize risk. I'm giving the reasoning why this is happening. Then I made a video about the trade as well. But the market did obviously drop lower, and it gave a pretty nice profit opportunity here. I continue to keep my trade without taking profits. Now I'm out of it. But basically, here is how the trade kind of structure. We entered at about 69.40. Some guys were able to enter even higher at about 7,040 in here. And then, to me, I wanted to give this trade a little bit more room to the downside, but the trade is not responding well. I continue to lower the stops until we had a minimal risk on here, and then I decided to get out of my trade this morning for, I think it was about $100 profit or something on my position. So anyway, if the trade is not responding, you can see up here closing this position at market. And the other trade that was pretty nice and interesting was up here when we were looking at this 618 pullback on here, and the market just kind of exploded up higher. So this was a pretty nice trade to take. You identify a nice, clearly impulsive move up in a wave A, then you have a WXY into the 618, then you have a 1-2, get into the trade, and then you can pretty much smash it up higher. We were looking at this. Let me show you. It was like, this is one of the charts that we posted and said, okay, if Bitcoin is supposed to turn, this is the level that I would like it to turn from, and let's see if we can take advantage of that. So this is what it is. If you guys want to come into our pro room, you're getting multiple charts and commentary and videos. During the day I have updates, and we're trading, so it's not like we're just presenting analysis. I want to put the money where my mouth is, and just kind of follow the rules, and take advantage of some of this intermediate moves until the market gives us something more strong to be able to take. But until then, I'll continue to be cautious. So we'll continue to monitor a triangle, a move lower if it's happening, or a move higher if the Bitcoin wants to do that. We'll just continue to following the structures and try to put the edge in our favor. And the market into our favor, and continue to look for opportunities. All right. So until next week, you guys trade safe. Be safe out there with this, with the virus, and hopefully everybody will come better on the other side. So talk to you guys soon, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you like it, and subscribe to the channel, and come give us a try into the room, and trade with us. I'll see you later. Bye.